In this video, I will share with you 13 brutal lessons I've learned while solo bootstrapping a B2B SaaS as a marketer who's helped scale Facebook ads for multiple unicorn B2C apps. So if you're thinking about building your own SaaS, or if you're a founder who's already building something, hopefully you can avoid some of the mistakes I've made so you don't waste years of your life building something that nobody wants and get to your goals faster. But first, is it really possible to compete against VC funded companies? Will I be able to sustain without having a co founder to lean on for support? I guess we'll have to find out. Let's get into the video. First, you want to validate with money. Get your person on a call, get your ICP on a call, have them demo the platform. At the end, I ask them, it's $50. Do you want to pay now? And this is super important. If no, ask why. If yes, celebrate. And friends and family don't count unless they're in your ICP. A book that I absolutely loved and which was essential for me was called The Mom Test. And the lesson in it that I took away from the book was that people are very nice and they want to help you and support you as best as they can. So you need to learn how to not ask leading questions. A leading question, for example, is, do you like this? Or do you like that? A different way to frame this question is, how valuable do you think this feature is? So that you don't lead them into saying yes because they want to say yes, they want to say it's cool, but you want to get at the nugget, right? So I mentioned earlier, but when you're first building your product or your MVP in the beginning, what I did was I watched them use the product on a screen share and see where they get confused. And this was really, really painful for me to watch someone have to go through a UI that I had no idea what I was doing, that I designed. Watch where they get confused so that you can improve the product over time, get their feedback, and yeah, at the end, just ask them. It's $50 or $100 or $5. It doesn't really matter. Um, and ask them if they want to pay now, and just ask them why if they say no. And for me, it took me 3 months to go from having my MVP built to iterating and then getting validation with the first sale. And the first sale actually happened organically, randomly. Someone had purchased it and sent me a DM on Twitter saying he's running across a bug, and I'm like, who's this guy? I don't know what he's talking about. And then I realized, hey, let me actually check if anybody signed up, and he did. And I think it was 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and he had a bug, and I helped him fix it right away. But I literally jumped up and down for joy, and I don't really remember being that happy, and I've been chasing that high ever since. So this was the first part, validation. That was the easy part. So this next lesson almost killed my startup. You need to learn how to say no more often. I've learned that shiny object syndrome will throw you off track. A lot of things are sound like good ideas, and they might be good ideas. Last year, I had a big client work with me, and it was great. I helped them scale up their Facebook ad spend from around 50,000 a month to 95,000 a month profitably in 30 days. I have a case study on the website, and we helped them get their biggest New Year's season ever. And it was great, but they took up a lot of my time and a lot of my resources. And I had to build up a team behind the scenes that helped service this client. But it took a lot of focus away from building the self-serve product. And what happened was it took too much time and attention away from me guiding my developer. And what happened was the product started getting a little bit away from my vision. And so we had to revise that and add it to some thrash. So my suggestion here is say no more often, because that means you say yes to the most important things, the priorities. Yet, there's a critical lesson that almost nobody talks about, runway. And you got to take care of your financial runway, which is, everybody talks about this, but nobody talks about the mental runway, your emotional runway, your spiritual runway. Yes, you need to cash flow positively, but if you want to quit every day and you don't have the why, um, you're not gonna go very far. But none of this matters if you ignore the next lesson, which is probably the most important of them all, which is to take care of your physical health. Sleep, diet, exercise. Take care of your body and your body will take care of you. I sleep at the same time every night. Try to get to bed by 9:30. I wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. I started doing something called morning pages. So in the morning, the first thing I do after getting my cup of coffee, brushing my teeth, is I sit down and I write 3 pages of, 3 pages of notes every morning. And it's been really helpful for me to just get all my thoughts down on paper. Uh, so this is related to the previous lesson, which is your mental, spiritual, emotional runway. But this helps me to just put all my thoughts down on paper. And when I'm writing, it also helps me to debug my thought. Like, why am I thinking this way? Or, um, I think I'm making a mental error here. And it also helps me to just be more grounded and help me focus in the morning because the first thing I want to do in the morning is blah, 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 blah. But this helps me to just put everything down on paper and helps me get more grounded and um, kind of tackle the day in a more grounded way. So, yeah, take care of your body. Your body will take care of you. Go to the gym, take care of your diet. And speaking of longevity, you won't last long if you make this next common mistake. You got to embrace the suck. So, it will be a long journey and you don't know how long it'll take. So, in my mind, it's best not to wonder how far away the destination is and it's better to see how far that you've come. And this is something that I am wrestling with myself because I got to learn how to enjoy the view. I got to learn how to stop and smell the roses and be grateful for what I've accomplished so far in my life and just be grateful for where I am. I live in San Francisco. I'm minutes away from Golden Gate Park. Weather here is beautiful. I have a great support system. And so just, take it one step at a time. Like Confucius says, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step or something like that. Strive for self-improvement because the me now is not ready for the reward. You or me, I have to earn it first. So you have to embrace the suck. If you know who Jocko Willink is, he's a big proponent of embracing the suck. And if something bad happens, just say good. If something good happens, just say good. So always try to reframe things in a positive mindset so that it adds to your emotional and mental runway. But there's a crucial insight that I've learned about going the distance, and you won't get far without understanding this next lesson. And this one is about team building. There's a famous saying. I think it's an African saying. You can fact check me on this one, but something to the effect of if you want to go fast, go yourself, but if you want to go far, go together. And I'm learning how to do this, but I I'm trying to build a team around me that lets me flex my superpowers. So I'm learning how to delegate and have experts help me do things that they're experts on so that I can focus on being an expert in my field. And it's kind of like buying time for yourself. And what's important that I'm learning here is when we have, I guess, a global team that everybody's working asynchronously, that having regular syncs with your team members is so important because you really get to know them, obviously, but you have to like trust and verify that they're doing the work. This is a lesson that I'm still learning, and I'm sure I'll keep learning on how to build this. And yeah, truthfully, I'm still struggling to master this lesson, and I'm still struggling to master this next lesson. And this is being product led or sales led. And I think picking a go-to-motion market is crucial because you can't do a sales led approach for a low price product. And also, if your price is too low, then it's impossible to run ads profitably. If you're sales led, that means you get a higher price point, you can offer more support, clients will get more results, you get less churn, higher LTV. The trade-off to the sales-led approach is you gotta have more people behind the scenes. It's less scalable than just pure software. Yeah, this is something that I'm still learning. I've teetered between product-led with a free trial or offering a sales-led approach where someone books a call with me first. But even with the right pricing, it won't matter if you fail at this next essential skill, one that directly prevents churn. And this is to talk to your customers. And, we have all this product feedback and a backlog of feature requests. And it's great because it comes from the customer directly. But I think one thing that people don't mention about talking to your customers, at least for me, is that it'll give you more fuel for the road. So it gives me more mental, emotional, spiritual runway, knowing that people actually get value out of the product and it's saving them a lot of time. It's saving them from a lot of headaches. So yeah, this is just one additional benefit if you're a founder of talking to your customers. But there's a lesson that I've learned way too late that's actually costed me customers. And this is user experience. And I underestimated how important the UI and UX, the vibes of the app was. I had no idea what I was doing while building the MVP. It just was something functional. But I'm learning that you need to eliminate unnecessary clicks, eliminate unnecessary elements that don't need to show up. You need to handhold the user. You need to add a perception of speed. For example, adding skeleton loaders once something's loading so that they click something and they wonder what the hell's going on. I think LinkedIn is a good example of this. Once you load the feed, it takes a while to load, but what pops up right away is this kind of like a gray skeleton that shows that it's loading. So you need to let them know what's going on at all times. And this is something that I've learned recently, but v0.dev is really, really helpful to come up with UI, UX examples for your SaaS or your app. But yeah, this is still top of mind for me. But what I discovered next totally blew my mind. And this is starting with a design system. So similar to the user experience, this is more for the UI. And starting with a design system helps the product get more scalable with more developers. Because if you don't have a design system, then developers will start to use their colors, colors that look like the color that you want, but it's not actually your color. Shadows will start to look different. Font sizes will look all inconsistent. So you want to start with a design system. And one UI kit that I really, really liked is called Untitled UI. So you can go to untitledui.com, check out their Figma file. And for Facebook advertisers like me, it's like starting your ad account with a consistent ad naming convention. But none of this matters unless you tackle the toughest lesson of all. You got to start marketing now because getting people to care is just as hard as building the product. The whole notion about build it and they will come is wrong. You got to think, how will people find out about you? So start marketing now. Start YouTube, start LinkedIn, start X, email newsletters. So when I started, I had LinkedIn and an email newsletter. I'm starting YouTube now, and YouTube's a long-term channel, and I'm getting better and better at it. But I find that YouTube's content shelf life is a lot longer than LinkedIn, where a LinkedIn post will last like a few days, but on LinkedIn it could last a lot longer. And I'm learning that you need to be yourself online and don't try to be like other people or to try to sound like other people because nobody can be you better than you. And with AI content run amok and AI avatars and stuff like that, I think it's even more important for you to be a human. Another other marketing channels or cold DMs, cold emails, these can all work. And cold DMs and cold email helped me get the first 30 to 50 people for me to put my MVP in front of and to really get their feedback. So it's really, really important to start marketing now, build an audience. But yet, the real reason why startups disrupt entire industries is revealed in the next lesson. And speed is king, feature speed. And you need to iterate your product very, very quickly. And I'm trying to do this better. I know that VC funded companies are really good at this because they have a whole team of engineers, product managers, and things like that. You need to constantly make your product better. And then the final lesson I have for you today is much needed in life. And it might be related to one of the other lessons, but you got to keep showing up. Woody Allen famously said that 80% of success is just showing up. So, I'm trying to show up in YouTube videos every week. I can control my inputs, so I try to make one YouTube video a week and, we'll see how that goes, but it's been good so far. Got to keep showing up, be persistent. 95% of buyers are out of market, so this is why it's important to start marketing now. I have customers coming in and we started a conversation last year, so it's not always the right time for them right now. And you got to embrace the suck and keep showing up. So if you're enjoying this content, let me know. I'm still paying my dues. Will I be successful? I don't know. We'll have to see. But if this resonated with you, please leave a comment, share, and subscribe and all that, and I'll make more of it. I'm a mistake-making machine, but I try to learn from them, and I want to share them with you if you want to hear about it. So I'll see you in the next video.